Hello everyone, Jacob Lucero here, and I'm joined with a special guest, Eric Blue. He's with the band Eric Blue and the Soul Revue. Sorry. And today we're just gonna. He came out with a new album. When was it? A month ago?
March 20 was street date. Yeah.
Okay, so check it out. It's awesome. There's going to be a link in the description. And links to different places where you could view and see and hear his music and his concerts as well. So, Eric, nice to meet you. I'm so happy to meet you.
Same, thank you.
Yeah. So, first question that I have for you is, what's it like for you when you're on stage? How do you feel when you get on stage?
You know, I feel connected. You know, if nothing else, I'm connected with the Soul Revue. I mean, it's almost like an inside joke. We just kind of go up there and do our thing, and lo and behold, turns out we can rock a house. So, you know, it's very. I know it sounds cliche, but it is very back and forth with your crowd. But I mean, we played some just echoingly empty rooms before too. So I mean, even still, we just go up there and play for each other. So. It's awesome. I've always kind of been a bit of a ham, as they say. Not ham as in tasty sandwiches, but ham as in, you know, I like to entertain and perform and do that kind of thing. So it's never been a matter of stage fright or anxiety. I mean, this is what I do. This is what I love most. So yeah, that's what it's like.
Cool. And then talking about different areas that you perform, where's that one location that you're like, oh, I wish I could perform there, or I wish I could perform at the Apollo Theater, or is there a location?
You know, there's a couple. I would love to perform at Burning Man. I would love to just get on a main stage there and do the thing. I go every year, so I mean, it's just a matter of getting a band of 8 people down there.
Okay, everybody, you hear Burning Man. Get him on stage, Burning Man.
Revue, I'm looking at you. Also, I would love to play Red Rocks.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I would love to play the steps of the Sydney Opera House. I don't want to go inside. I mean, I've been inside. It's a different thing. I would like to do a lot more outdoor type venues. I'd love to play the Gorge over in Eastern Washington. It's a beautiful, beautiful venue. You asked for one, I gave you like 10. So
no, those are great ones. The Red Rocks, fantastic place. I'm from Colorado, so
okay,
it's a great area. Cool. Some kind of more personal questions. So, tell me where are you from?
Originally from Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised, and then I moved out here about 10 years ago, and I'm on the coast now. Sorry, Detroit. I love you. My entire family's back there, but I'm on the coast now. I'm not going back.
But give us a like if you're from Detroit right now, watching from Detroit. Give us a like.
Yeah, give us a like if you're on the coast. So, like I said, my entire family's back there. Both my grandmothers are still alive, 89 and 97. All my nieces and nephews are there. And I think about going back, you know, still not to stay, but for like a longer couple months stint, just because I've been out here for a decade and I've been working on music for half that time. So it gets kind of busy in the day-to-day out here. So as a trade-off, I've missed, you know, the last 10 years of my nieces and nephews growing up.
Right,
so
that's hard.
You know, my grandmothers are getting older. So no, they are old. Love you. And so I do miss that sometimes, but talking about going back to live now.
And your family do you have a musical family?
I have a family of music consumers, and when I say that, I don't just mean, oh, well, we listen to the radio, but like this whole album rack over here is composed of all my musical influences that I got through them. Like, we were very much a vinyl family. Like, we had just rows and rows and rows of albums. And everybody in my house had different musical tastes. So you had my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, who was like into Billy Eckstine and Nancy Wilson, not from Heart, but like the song stylist, the jazz singer. And then you had my mother, who grew up smack dab in the middle of Motown era Detroit. So there was all of that stuff. You know, I got the Motown sound, Funk Brothers, Stevie Wonder, Supremes, Temptations, Marvin Gaye, all of that. Martha Reeves, check. In fact, one of my favorite singers is Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops. Like, if I could have that man's voice, oh man, like he would just do entire concerts with just like this deep, soulful baritone. Just, I don't know. If you don't know Levi Stubbs of the Four Tops, get into it. My great grandmother was very bluesy, B.B. King, Muddy Waters, all that kind of thing. My stepdad was classic rock. You know, that's how I got into Led Zeppelin and AC/DC and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it all kind of stirred into this well-rounded pot that I just kind of honed my own sound from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I listen to your album, I get a sense of nostalgia, but it's not too overwhelming. You bring your own spice into there, which I really appreciate, because I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds like Motown, but you give it that little bit of extra flavor.
Well, thank you. It's not so. It's definitely a classic soul sound, but I also tried to throw some elements of things that weren't around then. Like, you know, you get early mid-60s soul, but then funk was about 8 to 10 years off from that. So what if they had a baby, kind of thing, you know? I don't try to get cliche with it, and I don't do things like drum beats and that kind of. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm saying with this particular project, because I've got my hand in a few musical pots. Like, I've got a 5-piece progressive blues band called Fast Nasties, and then I work with this DJ in town, and we put together some things, DJ Martini. So, you know, I can get into the EDM thing, and I can get into whatever you want, but this is kind of where my road is. You know, This is my lane, and I, for the most part, stay in it.
From this album, what if you were to choose 2 inspirations that really inspired you for this particular album?
I would, for this particular one, because a lot of these songs I wrote anywhere from 6 months ago to 10 years ago. So, these are just the expression, finally, of songs that have been rattling around in my head for some years, like decades. Now, the Soul Revue, this is our 5th year together, and we tried to get recorded, a couple times in those 5 years, but there were always, false starts and hard stops. Pick a reason. So we finally just got the damn thing done. And so now I'm using the material in this album to help craft and inspire the next album, which we're going back into the studio to start recording end of September.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about recording, how was it getting into the studio and recording? How did that make you feel? What was your experience like?
So, Fast Nasties, the progressive blues band that I'm in, we went in and recorded before the Soul Revue did. And so that was the kind of getting my feet wet thing. Because like in a real studio, because we had tried doing some things with a student at the Art Institute, Seattle Art Institute, but I didn't really get exactly what I wanted out of it. We tried a DIY thing at this recording or a rehearsal spot that we used to that we used to fuck with down in Belltown. And then we had a bit of turnover, and then we had, we were supposed to go record with this guy, and then he ended up having to sell the studio. It was just one thing after another. So Fast Nasties went in to Fastback Studios up in Northgate, Seattle, and had a beautiful experience. And I was like, this is where I want to record the Soul Revue. So finally, we got in, got after it, and got what I think is it turned out much better than I thought, and I have pretty high standards for my tunes. So yeah, because when you're mixing that many pieces, because there's 8 of us in this band, and I like to do fun things like layer harmonies over harmonies and just kind of throw the kitchen sink at it and then pair back. It was great. I had so much fun with this album. So, yeah.
Cool. So when you were physically recording it, like when you were right in that microphone and singing into it,
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel?
I felt very calm. I just, anybody who's ever been in the studio with me will know that, like, if I'm trying to work out a part or a harmony or a rhythm or something, I'll just kind of like zone out and almost channel it. I know that sounds weird, but those are the best words that I can come up with to explain it. I just kind of channel it from somewhere beyond me, and it works itself out. Because here's the thing, I trust that. Mm-hmm. I don't know any theory. Zero. Like, I tried to take a theory class in high school, and it was just attic Greek. What? But I knew that I have a head for arrangement, and I can hear harmonies real well. And so the musicians that we're in the band, that I'm in the band with, can translate me singing the part to them and they'll play it. So that's kind of how it is in the studio. It's like, I'm very zen and very focused. There's no popping bottles and bitches on this console and all that. It's about going in there and getting it done. And so I just have a very, and I know the song. I know the song, so.
We'll be doing a little bit of a game. So this is a music true or false game. So Eric Blue will get 5 chances to get 3 of these true or false trivia questions correct. If he gets them correct, you all have a chance to win some free merchandise. And what are they going to be getting in the future?
A beautiful trip to Reno! Woo-woo. I'm not paying for nobody to go to Reno because I've been to Reno. I would pay for somewhere else. I don't know. We'll send you some swag. I'll come and sing you to sleep, or I'll Skype sing you to sleep, or you tell me what you want within reason, and it's got to have the band name on it because that's cool.
Yep.
Or involve a band member. One of these days we got to get the rest of the cats in here because I'm telling you, we're all going to Vegas next week.
Ooh,
just to kick it.
So if you're in Vegas, give us a like and check them out. So you get to choose number 1 through 8. What number would you like?
7, then I guess I was going to go with that.
7. Okay, question 7. The Bee Gees were a pop group consisted of 3 brothers: Barry, Robin, and Maurice Gibb.
That's true.
It is true. Ding, ding, ding. Gets 1 right.
Hey, listen, yeah. I dig the Bee Gees. Not so much the screechy, piercy voices, but as they were good at what they did. And I'm a disco head. I love it. In fact, we're gonna be working on an album called Disco Shit, where I focus kind of on that kind of high syncopated MFSB kind of Philly International sound. Not so much the disco bit of it, but like, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So question number 2. So 1 through 8. You ready to 7?
Oh, 1.
1.
Number 1.
Ooh. Elvis's middle name is Aaron.
That's true. With 1 A.
Boom.
Do I get
2.
bonus points for that?
No.
No?
No, just got 2. Okay, so number 3.
Okay.
If you get this one, you have a chance to win free gear. So 1 through 8.
Oh, right. Let's go with 5.
Ooh. A Wider Shade of Pale was a hit by the Animals in 1967.
That is false. It was Procol Harum.
Dude! Man, nailed it. You all get free merchandise.
Swag!
So, in order to do this, what you do, comment down in the description or comment there or give us a like on live. Comment Eric Blue wins, and you'll be put into a pot.
'Cause I'm a winner, baby!
Oh yeah, you get put into a pot and we'll draw next week and we'll see who wins some free gear.
Word.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
thank you,
job.
man.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so to do a couple more questions?
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So you born into Detroit. What was that like?
Ooh. You know, I had a good time growing up in Detroit. My family was surrounded, you know, there's a lot of love, and it was a very much a neighborhood type of feel. You know, all of the people watched out for all of the kids, and it was just, you know, a very kind of my block situation. Yeah, it was tough. Don't get me wrong. It was, East Side Detroit was nuts. Still is. But Detroit was a great place to grow up. I learned a ton of shit just about like life. You know, don't say shit even if you got a mouth full of it. You know, just mind your business. Yeah, you know, I always say Detroit is a great place to be from. And it is. My thing is, I don't miss snow, not even a little bit. I will take 45 in rain in Seattle over 15 below in snow in Michigan anytime. Plus, Michigan, they love locking people up too much. They lock you up over speeding tickets. I tell people all the time about Michigan, go on vacation and leave on probation. So there it is. That's what that was like.
Okay. So when was the love of music first?
That was like in my family. A bit in church. You know, a lot of people always say, "Oh, I got my start in music in church." And yeah, I did church programs and that kind of thing. But for me, that wasn't the thing. I kind of understood the feel from it, but I got the feel from just playing albums at home. I knew a lot of kids in my neighborhood where that was like an ass whooping if they touched the records. But my mother used to get me out of her hair by saying, "Go put some damn records on." So that's how I kind of flipped through and like got attuned to the importance of cover art. Because I've seen some bad cover art, just like, ew. So, you know, it has, you got that 2 seconds while people are flipping to catch their eye and be like, dude. So, you know, in both bands, they'll tell you that I'm very particular about cover art. So, but getting way back to your question, that it wasn't so much Detroit. It was just my family had great taste in music. So that's how I got bit.
Okay. So in this whole album, what are you most proud of?
That everybody showed up. That's what I'm most proud of. Like I cannot say anything else about this album without really giving propers to the Soul Revue for getting in and getting it done. And you know, studio sessions are not glamorous at all. It's the same song, you know, 5-10 takes over and over and over, and hitting, you know, punch-ins and all that kind of stuff. So Dave, Andreas, Bradford, Christopher, Konomi, Don, and Tom, and me, I'd like to also thank myself. Hell of a job. You guys all fucking rock, and let's get on to the next one.
What's one when people are listening to your music? What should they listen for?
I don't really want to interpret it for them.
Okay.
Just take what you want from it. If there's anything at all you want from it, I hope it makes you feel good, or that it raises your energy to listen to. I don't like to make like angry music. I think that there are enough places to get that kind of vibe, and I don't know. I'm one of those who is baffled by the fact that anger and being pissed off all the time is fashionable. So I counter that, or at least I try to. And if I can't counter it, then I at least want to say something that resonates with a person's particular situation. Why am I so angry, or why am I so sad, or why am I, that kind of thing. So it's more probing than commiseration. So that's what I want people. I want people to feel good, to listen to it and feel good. And it's not one of these albums that drones on and has a whole bunch of interludes and bullshit. It's just 7 songs that'll change your mood in a half an hour. 28 minutes and something, but that's all you need. That's perfect. That's the perfect length of a get ready album, Get ready for the day. That's what I use it for anyways.
Perfect. So. And is there anything else, that last little bit, is there anything else you want to tell people about your music? Anything we didn't cover?
Just that it is a return to a classic soul sound. It's an homage, but everything doesn't have to be, electronic. Give real instruments another shot. That's all I got.
Perfect. Well, Eric Blue, thank you so much for
thank you.
Me down. And
sorry, my palms are sweaty.
No, it's all good.
I'm kind of nervous.
Love all the artwork they have. You have a great place here.
Thank you.
Really, really happy that.
Well, I can't take credit for the artwork. I would say all of this, except for Diana Ross around here and Black Lives Matter. All the rest of it's Bryzer. So that's his artistic eye.
Cool. Well, links will be in the description to view and listen to Eric Blue and the Soul Revue. And
please like me. I swear it's good.
Subscribe, share with your friends, and check Eric Blue out on some of his tours if you're in Vegas and everywhere else.
Well, Vegas is just a buddy trip, so we might be singing on the sidewalk in front of a hotel on the Strip, but there's nothing planned. If you're in Seattle, our next show is May 19th at Columbia City Theater. We'll be playing with Northern Shakedown and RXN out of Oregon. And then after that, we're doing Cornstalk up in somewhere North Washington. And that's June 9th. So we got stuff coming.
All right. Great. Well, thank you all. Have a great day. And check Eric Blue out.